And now to the latest from the United Kingdom and the Brexit turmoil. The upper chamber of UK legislature has approved a bill blocking a no-deal Brexit at the end of October. It will force Prime Minister Boris Johnson of the UK to seek a delay to Britain's exit from the European Union. The legislation requires Johnson to ask for a 3-month extension to Britain's EU membership if the UK legislature has either not approved a deal or consented to leave without a deal by the 19th of October. Queen Elizabeth is expected to sign the law on Monday. The bill was approved without a formal vote. This is an obvious setback for Boris Johnson, who has dubbed this bill as the surrender bill. Now, Johnson said that this bill has weakened England's position in negotiations with the EU. The other thorny issue is that of early elections. Now, Boris Johnson has repeatedly said that he does not want an early election, but he sees no other way to decide upon a deal. Now, Johnson says that Britain must now hold a national election on the 15th of October. This, he says, is to let voters decide who should negotiate Britain's exit from the EU at a summit in Brussels. So far, the British opposition parties have rejected his call for an election. They say that they are not willing to let him dictate the timing of such a vote. Labour Party had originally said that it would support an election once the bill to prevent a no-deal Brexit at the end of October had become law. But it is now saying that it wants to secure a delay to Brexit before an election is held.
Just to remind the House, the question is that...
Now, both houses of British Parliament have passed a law that is designed to stop a no-deal Brexit on 31st October. The Parliament is expected to ratify a divorce deal after it resumes its sitting after the summer break. If no deal is agreed by the 19th of October and the lawmakers do not favour a no deal, then the Prime Minister will be legally obliged to ask the European Union for a Brexit delay. If Johnson refuses for negotiating with the EU, it would almost certainly lead to a legal battle. The only obvious way around this would be to hold a general election, which will again lead to a parliamentary vote, and eventually the future of Britain's exit will depend on the election results. The default position is that the UK will leave the European Union on 31st October this year. Now, even if the Prime Minister requests an extension from the EU, there is no guarantee that the other EU nations would agree to it. Leaving without a withdrawal agreement will force the UK to immediately exit the customs union and single market arrangements, which were designed to make trade easier, an outcome that the lawmakers and business persons have been avoiding. Now, the government's preferred option to prevent a no-deal Brexit is to ratify a withdrawal agreement with the European Union before the end of October. But the existing deal negotiated by Theresa May has been rejected in the House of Commons several times, and Boris Johnson has said that the deal is dead. There's also the legal option of cancelling Brexit altogether, but clearly that is not something the current government is contemplating. The UK is still almost evenly split between people who want to leave and remain in the EU, which means that even an election might not necessarily offer any more clarity on what the country should do about Brexit. But it might be the best chance for the UK.